Let's spend some time making sure your Google Calendar is set up so you can use it as your daily agenda. Let's start by looking at the view of your calendar. Of course, we can set it for day, week, month. You could also do 5 days, or you could do the agenda view. I personally like the month view because you can see things from the past that you may or may not have completed. You also can see things in the future that are coming up. It's just a quick glance for you to be aware of what's coming and what you need to do. Now, you can set this up so it is always defaulted as the month view every single time you access your calendar. Let me show you how to do that. Go up to the gear, click on that drop-down arrow, and then go down and select Settings. Once you're in Settings, you need to scroll down to Default View. It's about halfway down the list of items. And then as you can see, I've already selected it as month. Typically it's set as week, but I encourage you to set it as month because, as I explained, it is easier to see the work that you need to do. And then you must click Save, and you have successfully defaulted it to month view every time you access your calendar. Then let's take a look over here at the things that are called My Calendars. You will have things that have little colors by them. If the color is highlighted, then that calendar is visible on your page. For example, my conference calendar here is white, so that means it's not highlighted, so you can't see any of those assignments. If it is a Google Classroom calendar, you'll find it down here in Other Calendars. As a teacher, my Google Classroom calendars are under My Calendars, but you will want to make sure all of those are selected for colors. The color is selected. Now, what I really want to draw your attention to is down at the bottom of all of your calendars, you will have either the word Reminders or the word Tasks. We want it to say Tasks. So if yours, it says Reminders down here, select the drop-down box and it'll say Switch to Tasks. I'll show you what happens if I switch to Reminders. Then down here I will have my reminders. But like I said, we want it to say Tasks. So select the drop-down box, make sure you have switched to Tasks. Select the drop-down box again for another feature. Now these tasks are really your daily agenda items, and I encourage you to pick a color that is personal to you. Some people like to pick red because it's a big color and it kind of pops out and allows you to see your task list. Now notice I do have my red square, and over here on the right side of my screen is a white bar now, happens to say Tasks up at the top. This is where you are going to put your assignments. Let's say you are in math class and your teacher assigns you a math homework. You will type math homework, perhaps, well, let's go on. Select the arrow. You'll select a due date. Let's say it is due tomorrow. And maybe your teacher said just do the evens. Okay, you can take a little note. Then select Back to List. And two things to notice. You now have the little item here on your task list with a checkbox. You also have the exact same task over here on Friday, the due date, with a little checkbox. Now when you complete the assignment, you can check it off either here on the calendar, or of course you can also check it off in your task list. I like that it's in both places, and if you were ever creating an assignment, I would always add it to your task list versus creating an event over here in your calendar. This just makes a nice checklist for you to kind of manage all of the things you need to do. To erase them, you have a couple of things. You can highlight it and select the trash can, or if you have a number of things you want to delete at once, as long as they have a check mark by them, you can go to Actions, and the bottom option is Clear Completed Tasks, and all of those tasks that you completed are erased from your task list as well as from your calendar. So those are some tips and tricks on how to use your calendar as a daily agenda.